Hello everyone, my name is Joseph and welcome back to the Popsicleknight channel. This video is sponsored by PTCGO the best place for you to get Pokemon TCG code cards. Are you looking to complete your card collection online for the latest set? PTCGO has everything you need. And please remember to use my code NIGHT22 at checkout so that you can get a 5% discount. Please enjoy the discount and your purchase directly supports the content I create in this channel. Thank you guys so much for your support and for your supporting PTCGO. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at how you can use the Earthen Seal Stone for 0 energy. Yes, you heard it right, for 0 energy. Earthen Seal Stone is a very powerful tool card. When it is attached to a V Pokemon, regardless if it's a basic V, a V-Star, VMAX, or even a V-Union Pokemon, it gives it a VSTAR Power attack called Star Gravity. For 3 colorless energy, it puts damage counters on all of your opponent's V Pokemon, reducing their HP down to only 100 HP. And Manaphy's Wave availability will not be able to prevent this attack because keep in mind that this is considered as an effect of an attack. 3 energies to power up this attack can be difficult to fulfill. However, did you know that Zapdos V has the ability Fighting Instinct? It reduces this Pokemon's attack cost by 1 colorless energy less for each of your opponent's V Pokemon in play. And yes, this applies to the V-Star Power attack provided by the Earthen Seal Stone tool card. So if your opponent has 3 or more Pokemon V in play, you can use Star Gravity for 0 energy, which is pretty insane. And even in some cases, you can just attach 1 double turbo energy on Zapdos V to use this attack, even if your opponent only has 1 V Pokemon in play. Of course, how you build around this powerful attack will be up to you. However, in this video, I will make a simple deck around this mechanic while trying out new cards. First of all, since we'll be reducing down most of our opponent's Pokemon's HP down to just 100, I thought of using Jinx, also from Silver Tempest. More for its attack, Psychic Assault. For 2 colorless energy, this attack deals 10 plus base damage, and it also deals 10 more damage for each of the damage counters already on your opponent's active Pokemon. So basically, it doubles the damage on your opponent's active Pokemon plus 10. And for most V Pokemon with their HP reduced to just 100, it will mean an instant knockout for them. But not only that, Jinx also has the ability Selfish Lips. If this Pokemon is knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon V, your opponent cannot take any prizes for it. Yes, they can't take any prizes. I also have Cramorant from Lost Origin because you can technically attack for 110 damage for 0 energy, given that you have 4 cards in the Lost Zone. So we'll be using a little bit of the Lost Zone engine in this build. So to set up this Cramorant, I'm using 4 copies of Colress's Experiment. You can look at the top 5 cards of your deck, put 3 of them into your hand, and the other 2 in the Lost Zone. And I also have Lost Vacuum to help put some cards in the Lost Zone. You can use this only if you put 1 card from your hand in the Lost Zone, after which you can select 1 tool card or Stadium in play from either player and put it in the Lost Zone. Some players may use Path to the Peak Stadium to turn off Zapdos V's ability, however as a counter for it, you can also use the Lost Vacuum to discard that Stadium. So with Colress's Experiment and Lost Vacuum, you may be able to attack with Cramorant within a single turn. Since this deck is centered mostly on countering V Pokemon, I've also added 1 copy of Miltank because it has the Miracle Body ability, which prevents any damage done to it by attacks from a Pokemon V. It also has the attack route. For 2 colorless energy, this attack deals anywhere from 10 to 110 damage, depending on how many Pokemon your opponent has in their bench. And finally, I also added a copy of Radiant Jirachi. It has the ability Entrusted Wishes. If it is in the active spot and it is knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, search your deck for up to 3 cards and put them into your hand. This can really help you set up, especially if you have all the cards you need going into your next turn. And it also has the funniest attack, Astral Misfortune. For 2 colorless energy, you flip 2 coins, and if both of them are heads, you can instantly knock out your opponent's active Pokemon. This is such a stupid attack that I love it so much. And Radiant Alakazam is also a great alternative, and I think this is actually the best of the 2, so that you can use its ability Painful Spoons to move up to 2 damage counters from one of your opponent's Pokemon to another one of your opponent's Pokemon. Being able to manipulate your opponent's HP may be able to help you out set up your opponent's Pokemon for easier knockouts. As for the other cards worth noting, I have Circhester Bath Stadium to increase our basic Pokemon's defense by 20. In other words, your basic Pokemon will receive 20 less damage from attacks. And I also have 1 copy of Path to the Peak Stadium, which can be a great disruption to some matchups, turning off the abilities of your opponent's Pokemon with rule box on them. For my support cards, I have Irida, which can help you find water Pokemon from your deck, and also 1 item card. This is great for finding your Cramorant or even your Pyukumuku so that you can use its Pitch a Pyukumuku ability to help you draw 1 extra card. And this is also great for finding your Earthen Seal Stone tool card. Next is Avery for added disruption to limit your opponent's bench to only 3 Pokemon while helping you draw 3 cards. And Thornton can also help you switch one of your basic Pokemon in play with a basic Pokemon from your discard pile. This will allow you to keep attacking with a particular Pokemon. And this can also help you switch out your Zapdos V to remove liability from play if it becomes possible. When going against single price builds, however, most likely you will not be needing Zapdos V to use the Earthen Seal Stone. So I've added a copy of Force Seal Stone. This tool card will give your V Pokemon the VSTAR Power ability, Star Alchemy. During your turn, you may search your deck for any one card and put it into your hand. This ability is so powerful that it can help you set up your board even faster, which might give you an upper hand against your opponent. And Zapdos V can also use its regular attack, Thunderous Kick. For 1 fighting and 4 colorless energy, this attack deals 170 damage. And before dealing damage, you can also discard 1 special energy attached on your opponent's active Pokemon. All in all, this deck is pretty consistent, but unfortunately it doesn't have a counter for every matchup, but you'll definitely put up a good fight. Anyways, that's pretty much it. You can find the complete deck list in the description below. And now please enjoy the following gameplay videos. Alright, let's get right into our first match. We're going first, and we have Cramorant to go in the active spot. We also have Battle VIP Pass, so that can help us get 2 more basic Pokemon from our deck on our first turn. And we got another Battle VIP Pass from the top deck. That is insane. So let me grab Snorlax, Miltank, and with the second one I can get Radiant Jirachi and Jinx. That's a good mix of Pokemon set up on our board. I can scoop up my Cramorant so we can Gormandize this turn. And then, I mean, I could thin out my hand. I have Quick Ball, but I think I'm just gonna Gormandize, see what happens. We got Colress's Experiment, which is really good. We can start putting some cards in our Lost Zone. That's gonna set up for our Cramorant to attack for free. So we're going up against a Mew VMAX build. Most likely this is a losing battle because Mew VMAX is just really fast. The setup is really fast. They can draw a lot of cards. But I do have a counter for it. I have Path of the Peak Stadium in this deck, but finding it and being able to disrupt their hand would be ideal. And they can attack their first turn with Meloetta, but not with Mew. So that first energy attachment on Mew V is actually good for us, which means we're not going to lose any prize this turn. And then you really don't want to put your Zapdos V out in play right away unless you know you really need to use it. But we also need our Earthen Seal Stone. We can use it on our next turn because there's enough V Pokemon in play that Zapdos V can use Star Gravity for free. But ideally, I would have liked if they can evolve into Mew VMAX first. That way it's gonna add more damage to their Mew VMAX. Because if we do the Earthen Seal Stone or the Star Gravity attack right now, they can just evolve into a Mew VMAX and that... Dude, we got Earthen Seal Stone from the top deck. We can use it now. Because if we wait any longer, they could just knock out our Zapdos V. Okay, there's another Earthen Seal Stone. We already have one, so I don't think we need it. But I could use it now. Let me use Escape Rope, see what they're gonna switch out into. Dude, they switched into Genesect V. That is insane. Okay, they might get trapped in the active spot, which is good for us. If only we had Path to the Peak, that would be insane. Let me switch into Radiant Jirachi. We can put our Zapdos V in play already with the Earthen Seal Stone. Dash this energy to retreat. And I think I'm just gonna attack with Star Gravity. We might not have any other opportunity later on, so I'm just gonna Star Gravity here. At least now we have 2 targets that's a definite knockout with these 2 Genesect Vs. But my problem is with Mew VMAX, because once they evolve, they're only going to have 80 damage. And Jinx will not even deal that much damage, doubling that damage counter on their Mew VMAX. So they already evolve into 1 Mew VMAX, 2 Mew VMAX, for that matter. And then if they can get this Genesect V out of the active spot, then we're going to lose our Zapdos V, losing 2 prizes in the process. So I mean, it was worth a shot. I guess it still puts a little bit of a liability to my opponent's board. And they just pass. Okay, cool. So we have a chance here. We can retreat our Zapdos. And then we can attack with Cramorant. We have Lost Vacuum, and then we can just discard or Lost Zone the other tool card. So we could knock out this Genesect V. See if we get... Dude, we have a lot of basic Pokemon prized here, so... Nice, we got another Cramorant. So let's spit innocently here. Dude, we didn't get a knockout. Ah! The stupid Oricorio, it always gets me. Dude, that defense. Can we get another chance? Another turn to knock out this Genesect V? Is the question. No, they're able to retreat their Genesect V and no way for us to get it back unless we get a boss. And our hand is not looking good either. I might have to use Avery, but if I do that, they could just discard the cards that have heavy damage on it already. But I mean, if they discard their Genesect V, they could lose their drawing power. So we're just gonna do our best here, I guess. Me discard Avery and then use their Stadium. We got Capture Energy. Me use Avery. I have no other choice, guys. We had a good start though, but now we're in a desperate situation here because with not that much damage to their Mew VMAX, they can just keep attacking and we're pretty much helpless. But if they knock out my Jinx, they're not gonna get any prize for that. We just have to recover it. So with that much, at least we can still hold off. But with Avery again, they did discard their Genesect Vs. But hopefully, I mean, if they recover their other Genesect V, then it's gonna be it. Let me switch into Cramorant and then I'm gonna start to energize my Radiant Jirachi. That's gonna be our last resort, and I'm just gonna attack for 90 damage. So this Mew VMAX we might be able to knock it out. We just need a Twin Energy. We can't use 2 supporter cards, so I need to use Boss in case they retreat their Mew VMAX. We need to boss it, but we need an energy from our top deck. Otherwise, if we have no other cards, we have to use our Marnie, and we're gonna lose that opportunity to knock out this Mew VMAX. Especially if they put another Mew on their bench and they could just copy its attack and they could just shuffle their Mew VMAX back to the deck. So that's not gonna be good. And we're gonna lose that opportunity to get 3 prizes knocking out their Mew VMAX. But they're just gonna attack with it. So that might be good for us because now we don't have to boss anything. All we have to do is use Marnie. And then if we can draw into a Twin Energy, we can knock out this Mew VMAX. So I'm just gonna go with that. Use Marnie. And we got a Twin Energy. That is pretty cool. Insane, guys. And we have Path to the Peak. We're gonna use that for sure so that they can't draw into any more cards. And then we're just gonna Psychic Assault for our first 3 prizes against this Mew VMAX. Got Thornton from our prizes, double Turbo Energy for our other Jinx, and Hisuian Heavy Ball. Alright, so we're doing pretty good. They still need 4 prizes to go, but there is a possibility that they could just boss my Zapdos V and then get 2 prizes. But if they don't, we can use Thornton to switch out our Zapdos V with a single prize Pokemon, and they're still gonna have to knock out 4 of our Pokemon before they can win. But As with any Mew VMAX builds, they always get the cards they need, and that's the whole problem. And the thing is, I have been seeing a lot of Mew VMAXs in the ladder lately, and I think this is a good opportunity to really see how well this deck does to a top tier deck. So let's see how we fare in this matchup. So my opponent will get a knockout off of my Zapdos V. That's gonna get them 2 prizes, and they're 2 knockouts away from beating us. And with their Meloetta fully charged, even if we attack with Jinx, they can just switch out their Mew VMAX, knock it out, get a prize for that, and then they're just gonna win that way. So, I mean, we could try. There's really not much we could lean on from our prizes here. I could attack with Radiant Jirachi. We only need 3 more prizes anyways, right? This is probably a losing game anyways, so I could just take the chance. Yeah, I think I'm gonna I'm gonna go for it, guys. Put this energy on Radiant Jirachi, and then use Chloris Experiment, Boss Order. Alright, I'm gonna go for it. I think I'm gonna go for it, guys. Let's go. Astral Misfortune. Alright, let's move on to our next match. My opponent's going first this time. And we're gonna start with Cramorant in the active spot. And we can use Capture Energy, maybe get Snorlax with that. Retreat, and then Gormandize. And my opponent's using Inteleon Engine with a Shady Dealings ability. That's gonna get them a bunch of trainer cards in their deck. And we got Battle VIP Pass from that extra card because of my opponent's mulligan. And we're going up against Inteleon VMAX. Alright. Haven't seen this deck in a while, but I think we have a chance here. Let me get Snorlax for sure, and I think Miltank is gonna be a good addition to this matchup because my opponent will not be able to damage it when they attack. And we got Manaphy from our prizes using Hisuian Heavy Ball. And then with this Capture Energy, we can retreat our Cramorant, and I think I'm gonna go for Radiant Alakazam, retreat into Snorlax, and then use Avery for the meantime. We got another Battle VIP Pass. Let me put the Air Balloon on Miltank because we're gonna use that as a shield. And I think we can survive attacks here, so I'm just gonna set up my Zapdos V, and I'm just gonna Gormandize for the meantime. And if my opponent has any more V Pokemon in their deck, we might be able to use it for free. They are gonna boss something. They're gonna boss my Manaphy, okay. But it survives. They're only dealing 60 damage. Can just scoop it up, give it a full health. And okay, we got Pyukumuku. Let's draw 1 extra card. A switch, okay. And then I can just energize my Miltank and just put some chip damage on this Inteleon VMAX. So they're not using the Rapid Strike version, which could be very obnoxious actually, putting those damage counters. They have hammers as well, and they succeeded in discarding our Twin Energy from our Miltank. Level Ball into Drizzile. So what we need is the Earthen Seal Stone. We can reduce this Inteleon VMAX's HP down to 100. And then if we can get enough cards in the Lost Zone, we can take care of their baby Inteleons with Cramorant and even Jinx. And I can actually attack with my Zapdos V also. And it looks like they're energizing their Inteleon line. We have a boss's order though. but we're not dealing enough damage with our Miltank, although we can still continue to put some chip damage. But they have more Pokemon on their bench, so that means more damage. I mean, I could boss their Sobble, I guess, and get a knockout. Just gonna remove their Path to the Peak for now. And that, at least we have one card in the Lost Zone. So I'm gonna go for the Sobble. I think that's gonna help us out. And I'm just gonna move some damage counter on Sobble because we need to get the exact amount, because this double turbo energy is reducing our attack damage output. So that took care of that Sobble, thanks to our Radiant Alakazam, and that's why I think Radiant Alakazam is better in this build. It makes this build a lot more consistent. Okay, they're gonna evolve into Inteleon, and with one more energy onto it, they can knock out my Miltank. And what we need to do is put more cards in the Lost Zone. They will knock out my Miltank, and we're gonna lose that air balloon. We could have used the Lost Vacuum to get rid of that balloon into our Lost Zone to power up our Cramorant, but it's too late now. They're probably just gonna knock it out, and they get a Frostmoth to evolve. And I targeted the Sobble instead of Frostmoth because they already had 2 energies on their Inteleon V, or their Inteleon VMAX, so there's really no point in me knocking out their Energizer if they have already a lot of energies on their Pokemon. But with 2 cards left on their hand, they have another Inteleon. Okay. So there's a knockout against our Miltank. They get 1 prize for that. And since we have Earthen Seal Stone in our hand, we can actually use our VSTAR Power attack. Star Gravity. Reduce their Inteleon's HP down to 100. So at least we can get 3 prizes for sure in that Inteleon VMAX. And then, I mean, 100 damage against their other Inteleon is pretty good too. They have Serena. They're gonna draw extra cards for sure, because we don't have any V Pokemon that they can boss into the active, so it's already in the active. And with another Inteleon V, since we have fighting energy on our Zapdos, we can actually attack with it. They will use Aqua Bullet, deal 120 damage to our Zapdos V. It is gonna get knocked out, but I think I might have to just use it to attack and take care of their Inteleon. So I'm gonna go for Thornton, Twin Energy, and another Colress's Experiment. We don't need the other Zapdos, and we can just use our recovery to get Zapdos back into play if we need to. We can even use Thornton to get Zapdos V into play. I could switch out and attack with Cramorant, but yeah, let me just use Lost Vacuum. We can get rid of the Earthen Seal Stone, and now our Cramorant can attack. But it's not gonna knock out their Inteleon, so I think I will just have to attack with my Zapdos V. So that's gonna get us another prize. So we're 4 prizes left to go. We got Circhester Bath. They're gonna attack with their Inteleon VMAX. They can knock out my Zapdos V for 2 prizes, but then we can knock out their Inteleon with our Jinx. And if they knock it out, they're not gonna get any prize for that. So that's still gonna get ahead. We're still gonna get ahead in the prize exchange. So they have Path to the Peak. It is turning off my Alakazam's abilities, but we have 1 more Lost Vacuum in the deck. We could just get rid of that if we need to, so that we can use Alakazam's ability. So they're knocking out our Zapdos V. Just gonna put my Jinx in the active spot. And don't need that Forest Seal Stone. Replace their Path to the Peak. Now we can use Radiant Alakazam. We're gonna get a knockout here anyways. It's gonna be overkill with Jinx, so I might as well move some damage counter to their other Inteleon V. And we're just gonna use Psychic Assault, dealing 210 damage, knocking out their Inteleon VMAX, getting us 3 prizes. Not too bad. So now our Jinx is in play. If they knock it out, they're not gonna get any prizes. Our Manaphy is protecting our bench from any damage. So we are in a good spot here. So we need one more prize. We can even double the damage on that Inteleon V unless they evolve it. Then, okay, never mind. They will evolve it. We can target their Frostmoth though. We can knock it out with our Cramorant and get our last prize. They're gonna use Max Bullet for 160 damage, but they don't get any prizes for that. I'm just gonna switch my Snorlax in the active spot. We got another Jinx from our top deck. So what I'm gonna do is use Escape Rope. If they put Frostmoth, we can knock it out with Cramorant. So most likely they're just gonna put their Inteleon. And we can double its damage using Jinx. And even if they knock it out, they're not gonna get any prizes for that. But then there's no way for us to double the damage. So let me use Colress Experiment first. I can use Lost Vacuum, get rid of their Path to the Peak, get Escape Rope, and I think Quick Ball is better. That way we can use Alakazam's ability. Get rid of this. We don't need that anymore. Get rid of their Path to the Peak. And then we can energize our Jinx and then double their damage. But again, we'll need an energy. Use Thornton to use Jinx. So I think I'm going to go for Cramorant instead. And we're dealing 110 damage. So yeah, let me use Radiant Alakazam to put some damage on this other Inteleon, just in case, because if we fail this strategy, we have a backup plan. So 190 damage to their Inteleon VMAX, and I think that's gonna set it up. If they retreat here into their Inteleon, we can use Escape Rope. Well, okay, maybe not. They are gonna Marnie. Hopefully we draw into something useful. Okay, I think we still got this. Irida can get us our Escape Rope. As long as my opponent doesn't put any more Pokemon on their bench, we are guaranteed. And that's gonna be game. That's it. So, well played. We can just scoop up our Snorlax. We can even put this in play. Not that we need to. So we're gonna get Escape Rope. And then just gonna push their Pokemon back. Either one of their Pokemon will get knocked out this turn. We can knock out their Inteleon VMAX with Jinx or Cramorant against their Frostmoth. There it is, guys, for the win. Not too bad. Good game. Alright, let's move on to our next match. We are going first this time. We have Snorlax to go in the active spot. And Miltank. Miltank is actually a good attacker. Even if it's not a V Pokemon matchup, can still attack for a lot of damage. We have Battle VIP Pass to start, so let me set up my Jinx and my Cramorant, and wouldn't you know it, we're going up against another Mew VMAX build. And I think I'm just gonna Gormandize, get 2 cards, and you don't want to put your Zapdos V out in the open because your opponent can just boss it and get an easy knockout. Especially Zapdos V is weak against Psychic. And since you really don't need any energies to use the Earthen Seal Stone, you can just put it into play when you're ready to use its attack. So don't be in a hurry to put Zapdos V in play. And also Manaphy, you just hold back from putting into play because sometimes your matchup doesn't even deal any bench damage. So you're saving some space on the bench by not putting Manaphy in play. So hopefully my opponent sets up all of their Genesect V right away And like I said, ideally you would want to wait until your opponent evolves into a Mew VMAX before you use the Earthen Seal Stone, but the likelihood of you getting that chance might not come because, like I said, my opponent can just start attacking on their very first turn and get the very first knockout. But right now, they're not attacking, they're just accelerating energy with their Mew V. Okay. So, from the looks of it, doesn't seem like my opponent sees me as a threat and they're just taking their time. Or maybe that's the only move they could do this turn. So, let's see what we could do this time around. I could use Irida to get the Earthen Seal Stone. There are enough V Pokemon in play. I mean, we have Boss's Order to start knocking out their Genesect V. Let me push out this Mew V. Maybe they're gonna put Genesect V in the active. No, it's Meloetta. Okay. I mean, I could knock it out with Cramorant. Let me just put Zapdos V into play, I guess. Use Irida. Get Pyukumuku and the Earthen Seal Stone so we can attack for free. Draw one extra card. A switch, okay. And then I'm gonna take a chance because they need another energy to get this Meloetta out of the active spot. And I'm just gonna use Star Gravity, dealing half HP or reducing the HP of all their Pokemon Vs down to 100 HP. So with that, they might knock out my Zapdos V. They get 2 prizes, but in exchange, we can also knock out their Genesect V and get 2 prizes for that in exchange. They will attack with their Mew VMAX though. Unless a Sparkle, okay. Alright, so that's a good thing that they attached the Fusion Strike energy on Meloetta, because once we knock out that Meloetta with our Cramorant, they won't be able to copy that attack and deal a lot of damage anymore. Because once that Fusion Strike energy is discarded, Meloetta's attack basically dwindles down as well. So they are gonna knock out my Zapdos V. Of course, that's the most practical move. And it comes down to our Jinx. We need a double turbo energy or twin energy, which we don't get. Just use Chorus Experiment. We got a twin energy from that though. Get another Jinx. And then I feel like energy is more important here. Then I can get another Pokemon with the Capture Energy. Surchester Bath will reduce damage, but they're attacking for so much damage that it's not even gonna help out. So let's use Escape Rope. So any one of their Pokemon can get knocked out, actually, unless they put their Meloetta. And they put their Genesect V. Dude, that's a big deal. So now we can knock out their Genesect V. Alright, cool. We have a switch available. And then we're just gonna knock this guy out. Psychic Assault. Dude, that was a pretty good move. Yeah, I think they were taking too much risk putting their Meloetta in the active spot. They were probably thinking, if we knock it out, that loses all the special energies. So they went for the next best thing, Genesect V. Because if we knock out their Mew V, they lose one attacker. But we had the cards that we needed to get that knockout. That also helps us in disrupting their draw engines, because now they only have one Genesect V to rely on. Well, there's another one. That's alright. But at least that's one Genesect V that we have to worry about. They're using Pokemon Catcher to get heads. Let's see who they target here. I mean, against Meloetta, none of our Pokemon are safe, actually. And I need a few more cards in the Lost Zone for Cramorant to attack, so we can't even knock out their Meloetta. And I mean, I can use Miltank to attack, I guess. But 2, 4, 6, 8. We're only dealing. Yeah, we can actually knock out their Meloetta with Miltank, but we need a Twin Energy. They're gonna switch out their Meloetta for some reason. They're gonna attack with their Mew VMAX. But what I'm gonna do next turn is boss their Genesect V again. Get another 2 prizes for that. And that puts us ahead in the prize exchange. Because my opponent's taking 1 prize at a time at this point. And we'll be ahead in the prize exchange once we do that. But we are going through a lot of HP here, knocking out their Mew VMAXs, so just gonna play it smart. Okay, we got Colress Experiment. We can save that for our next turn, I guess. But let's see what we can do. Start energizing my other Jinx, and then I'm gonna get Radiant Alakazam, I think. We can even put some damage counter on their Meloetta. No, we can't. I always forget that the Fusion Strike energy prevents abilities. So we can't really move damage counters to them. So I'm just going to move damage from the active onto their other Genesect V. So we have another choice of another target at some point. So I'm just going to get a knockout off of this Genesect V. Good thing we had a boss's order. That gets us 2 more prizes. And we got Lost Vacuum and another Capture Energy. Capture Energy is such a powerful energy card, because that it can help you set up real good. So we need 2 more prizes left. They can keep attacking with their Mew VMAX. But if they knock out our Jinx, they will not get any prizes if they knock it out with Mew VMAX. But they're gonna use Pokemon Catcher and just get our other Jinx, which I don't see what difference it makes. But okay. They're gonna knock it out. They will get a prize for that though. I don't know why they did that, but okay. Use Cramorant. We can attack with Cramorant, knock out this. We can knock it out now because with Colress Experiment we have enough energy in the Lost Zone. So let me get all the energies first, and I feel like Lost Vacuum is best. I mean, Snorlax can help us draw, but I think Lost Vacuum is the best option. So I'm gonna go with that. I can start energizing my and what I could do is actually use Thornton to attack with Zapdos V if I need to. That's 170 damage, and with enough V Pokemon in play, we might be able to knock out one of their Pokemon. So I'm just going to continue to move damage to their other Genesect V. Get a knockout here against their Meloetta, and then go from there. So spit instantly, 110 damage for a knockout, reducing the Fusion Strike energies they have in play, which makes a big difference. So now they cannot attack with Meloetta's attack, and it's not going to deal that much damage anymore because they don't have a lot of Fusion Strike energy in play. They have 1, so they can attack for like 70 damage, but that's pretty much it. So not too bad. We only need one more prize. They are gonna put their Meloetta in the active spot, and that could just be game. They will boss something. My Jinx in the active spot. But we could just retreat it into Cramorant and win that way. Okay, Mew's gonna attack, knock out our Jinx. They don't get any prizes for that. And... they're just gonna pass. They don't have any energies. Bro. Are we actually gonna legit win this match? That's crazy. Let me use my Chloris Experiment, get our Zapdos, the energy, Ordinary Rod for recovery, for sure. And... I mean, I could double the damage on this Mew VMAX. And then move some damage onto their Genesect V. You put this energy, because like I said, we could attack with Zapdos V. So let me put this stone energy. That's gonna reduce damage. Not that it matters, but it is a fighting type energy. And I'm gonna move damage from this Mew VMAX onto Genesect V. And just gonna Psychic Assault. So now with 170 damage to their Mew VMAX, we can knock it out with another Jinx. We have the Twin Energy, Double Turbo Energy to double that attack. We can use Thornton to switch our discarded Jinx into the active and knock out their Mew VMAX. So if they knock out our Jinx, they're not gonna get any prizes for that. And then all we need to do is continue the assault, right? And then all we have to do is figure out how we can get one of those Pokemon in the bench into the active in case they retreat. Most likely they're gonna retreat into the Mew VMAX with a lot of HP, but no! They retreat into Meloetta for some reason. And they're just gonna attack. That's gonna be game, guys. Wow, we won that game fair and square, guys. Well played. There's the scoop. Good game. Wow, I can't believe we won that one. Alright, let's move on to our next match. We're gonna start this one with Jinx this time around. Then we can use Capture Energy, get Snorlax, scoop up Jinx, and then Gormandize. I think that's the best option. Yeah, we need to set up, because if my opponent gets to attack right away and then knock out our active, it's gonna be game. So I'm just gonna Gormandize for 3. We got Zapdos V and Earthen Seal Stone. That is insane. We got all the cards that we need to make this happen. We're going against Palkia VSTAR. Alternate art versions. Pretty expensive cards to start there. So with 2 V Pokemon in play, we can use the Earthen Seal Stone or Star Gravity attack for 1 energy. So what's scary about this Palkia is the Inteleon line. I wonder how good Palkia V-Star will be once the Inteleon Shady Dealings line is rotated out. Because they really rely on the consistency, being able to get the trainer cards as soon as possible. We use Chloris Experiment, we got Cramorant, Boss's Order is good, and Double Turbo Energy. And then I could use the Earthen Seal Stone now, but it's not gonna make a huge difference, but it could, right? But I'm just gonna Gormandize. We got another Colress Experiment. We can knock out their active with Cramorant, get our first prize that way. But giving my opponent another turn here might prompt them to evolve into their Palkia V-Star, and the Star Gravity attack is gonna be a lot more powerful that way, because it's hard to recover from reducing your HP down to 100. 280, that's 180 damage. All we have to do is double that with Jinx, and even with Cramorant being able to attack for 110 damage, we could just knock out their V-Star Palkias. But we need, I feel like we need Manaphy here, because if they have access to Radiant Greninja, but I'm not too worried, because a lot of my Pokemon doesn't have 90 HP. They have more than that, so Radiant Greninja is not going to be knocking out any of our Pokemon with a single hit, so we are good. We are good with that. So far, they have one Palkia V-Star in play. Let me use Colress Experiment, get Lost Vacuum, and then I'll just get the Battle VIP Pass. We can discard that anyways. I just needed 4 cards in the Lost Zone so we can get a knockout here. So they don't have to, they won't have the ability to scoop up their Drizzile and reuse it again on their Sobble. So we're good. We also have Avery, which is really good. And once we use that, that's going to force them to discard all of their Inteleon line and even their Radiant Greninja. So let's see what my opponent does here, because that's going to be the priority for them to discard. Now they have 3 Palkias in play. What are they going to do? They put 1 energy on their active, and that's it? They only use that for 1 energy. That is so sad. Bruh. I think we got this, man. So let's use Avery. Force our opponent to discard 2 of their Pokemon on their bench. They can only have 3 Pokemon on their bench. And we have Radiant Alakazam available to us already. That's going to help us move some damage counters. Get rid of this to get our Miltank, which they can actually have a hard time getting through, but I'm just going to get Cramorant to guarantee a 110 damage output, because Miltank relies on how many Pokemon your opponent has on their bench, and it doesn't guarantee the damage output that you require. So I'm just going to use Star Gravity, reduce their V Pokemon's HP down to 100 without their Sobbles to evolve into Drizzile or even Inteleon. There's no way for them to get a hold of the cards that they need. So they resort to using their Marnie that shuffles our hand as well. So we have a few energies, which is really good. We have Jinx. We can double the damage on their Palkia, and that's going to get us 2 prizes for knocking it out. But they will need to evolve their other Palkias to help it survive longer. But if not, we can just target it and knock it out, get more prizes for those. And their Manaphy is not helping out in this matchup either, because we're not hitting for any bench damage. They're playing Path to the Peak, but we have more Lost Vacuum in the deck, so we can just get rid of that if we need to. They will evolve into another Palkia VSTAR. 250 damage. Knocking out our Zapdos V. Alright, they get 2 prizes for that. So all their Palkia is within knockout range though for some reason. Okay, we don't have any more basic Pokemon in our prizes. And then I can energize my Snorlax. We can actually attack with this. I mean, I can attack with Cramorant. Just knock out this guy for 110 damage. Get 2 prizes for that. Color's Experiment and another Color's Experiment. So the reason why I attack with Cramorant is it guarantees a knockout. This guy has a lot more HP, so Cramorant will not be able to knock it out. So having Jinx around with the energy that it needs to attack, we can just double the damage and then knock out this guy. So with the Big Charm, it actually has 310 HP. Right? There's the other origin form, Palkia VSTAR. And they're just gonna bump out their Path to the Peak Stadium with the Training Court Stadium so they can retrieve 1 energy from the discard pile. And then they use that for Radiant Greninja to draw 2 extra cards. I'm not sure what they're trying to do here, but Avery definitely played a big part in disrupting our opponent's hand. So they will knock out our Cramorant for that 1 energy, or for that 1 prize. Let's use our Color's Experiment. We have Path to the Peak. Let's get Boss instead. I don't think we need Path to the Peak in this matchup as much. That's fine. We can draw an extra card with Pyukumuku. 160 damage. I mean, with Jinx, we can double that attack, right? 150 plus 10. 160. We can knock out this guy. How did it get 150 damage, though? Because we used the Earthen Seal Stone when it was just a V. Well, I wasn't paying attention, so I'm not sure what happened there, but that's alright. So we have 2 Snorlax with 2 energies, and we didn't knock it out! 150. Oh, because of the double turbo energy, bro. The double turbo energy reduced our attack damage by 20. So we don't get a knockout, but that's okay. That's why Radiant Alakazam is such a great addition to this build. Instead of Radiant Jirachi, you can just move those damage, knock out their Palkia, and then we can use Boss to boss one of their Pokemon, most likely their Manaphy, to win this game. And that's gonna be game, guys. Painful Spoons move this damage counter into the active, knocking it out, getting us 2 prizes. And to get our last prize, all we need to do is attach another Twin Energy to our active, boss their Manaphy. Snorlax can hit for 100 damage and knock it out for the win. This is insane, guys. You guys gotta try out this deck. I trust me, it is an awesome deck. There it is, victory for us. Good game.
And that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to smash the like button for me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching the Popsicleknight channel, and as always, stay safe and have a great day.